Another important part of physical infrastructure services is the ability to connect to your infrastructure from anywhere in the world. We talked about remote access in an earlier course, and we've been using it all throughout this program to connect to our lab machines. In this lesson, we're going to discuss what's needed to set up for remote access for a small organization. As a systems administrator or as anyone in IT support, you'll want to be able to remotely access another server or user's machine so that you can troubleshoot an issue or do maintenance from wherever you may be. In Linux, the most popular remote access tool is OpenSSH. We've already learned how to SSH into a remote computer in the last course, and we talked a bit about what's needed to set up SSH, but we'll quickly show you how to do this. To SSH into another machine, you need to install an SSH client on the machine you're connecting from. Then install an SSH server on the machine you're connecting to. To learn more about OpenSSH, you can check out the next supplementary reading. But let's keep rocking and rolling with how to install the OpenSSH client on a machine. It's super easy. What you're going to do is I'm going to go to my client machine and simply run this command, sudo apt-get install OpenSSH client. And downloading the package. Perfect. So it looks like my client has been installed. Next, you need to install the OpenSSH server on the machine you want to access. Remember, the SSH server is just a process that listens for incoming SSH connections. So let's go to the server and install the OpenSSH server. So I'm going to do sudo apt-get install OpenSSH server. Perfect. So it looks like my server is up and running. So let's go back to the client and do a test. I do SSH. Enter my server IP address with my username. So ask for my password, which is a good thing. Perfect. So as you can see, I'm connected to my server, and one true way to test this is if I go into my desktop of my server, and let me create a folder. Now if I go back to my server, which is on this window, I list the files, you can see the folder test, and that's it. Now you're able to SSH into a machine from another machine. Not too complicated, right? Windows has similar tools that you can use. A popular tool to access the CLI remotely is WinRM or PuTTY. RDP is also popular if you want to access the GUI remotely. We've already discussed how to connect to a machine using PuTTY in the last course. Just remember to install an SSH server on the machine you want to connect to. We also already discussed how to set up RDP in the last course. Feel free to review those lessons as a refresher. You can read more about the Windows remote access tools in the next reading. The takeaway here is that when you manage IT infrastructure, you can utilize tools like remote access to work on your physical infrastructure. You'll need to do a little bit of setup beforehand, like installing the SSH client, SSH servers, and allowing remote desktop connections, etc. But it'll be worth it in the long run. Next up, we'll tackle network service. See you there.